So you said you went to New York and opened an office. Like,
Yeah.
what did that look like? It's like an 18-year-old.
At 18 years old.
Can
New
you
York City is
sign
a scary
lease
place.
Can you sign a lease at that age? Like,
Yeah.
that's crazy, dude.
Yeah, so it's actually like a WeWork, so I think
Okay.
they're like more comfortable and like,
Yeah.
signing and like it's month to month and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was the first thing I did. So I didn't want to like be the kid that like drops out of school and like go lives with their parents. So I was like, I'm dropping out of school, I'm moving to New York, I'm paying all my bills, and I'm getting an office.
That's huge.
And then that's kind of like what motivated me to maximize my revenue each month, right? If you don't have bills you have to pay, you may slack off or whatever. So me, putting myself in that position, leaving college, already having to make substantial income, it was something that motivated me, and it also helped me build a team, right? I wasn't in that office alone. I was bringing in team members. That's when I hired my first employees, new sales reps that I was training. People would come in, I would do meetings in the office, right? So it's definitely a big, step to getting into, being a real agency owner and not just, somebody online, doing things for fun.
There's always this question. So we do a lot of coaching with younger guys, especially in the agency space. And a lot of them have like this limiting belief is like, oh, I'm young. Like, why would an older client or an established business person trust me with their money or with these services? So like, how do you overcome maybe that limiting belief? Or what would you say to that younger agency owner that's struggling with, I'm just not old enough to be taken seriously?
Definitely. I think for somebody who's younger and they're trying to land, some big clients, the number one tip of advice that I would give is to offer them the service for free. Right? Because once you offer them the service for free and you show them that you can actually get them results, age becomes, out of the question, right?
Yeah,
they don't
really
matter
anymore.
People just want results. People just want to make money. A lot of times people are entitled and think that they can land a client, without getting them results or without proving themselves. I think if you have that belief that you're young and that's what's holding you back, simply offer it for free. And if you offer your services for free to enough people and you're actually providing a good service, you're going to land clients and be able to launch a successful agency that way. For me, kind of in my perspective, I didn't have that belief, right? So I would just hit up anyone and everyone. I didn't care, what they thought of my age. I definitely did, go that route also. There was some bigger ticket clients. Like in New York, one of the things I started doing was like going to restaurants and like pitching them in person and stuff. Nice. And so like they would see me in person, they would see my age, but I would just be like, give me a week, I'll show you the service, show you what we do. And then I was able to land a lot of clients like that.
And you take yourself very seriously. I think that's like a big part of it too. Like just the way you go about yourself. Like you're very professional, right?
100%.
And people see that, especially when you're doing these in-person meetings. And I'd imagine they're at some high-level places in New York.
Yeah, exactly. And that's a really good point. I think that if age, is a factor, do things that impress people so much and think you're way beyond your years. So what does that mean? That means if you're going to make, a proposal, if you're going to make a deck, don't make it, on Google Docs where it looks super unprofessional and unmodern. Make it incredible, right? If you don't have the skill sets, find somebody who you can pay some money that you have saved up and make something that's worthwhile. Make something that makes you look beyond your years. And then that's what's going to help people, build that trust and establish that relationship.
Where do you think the maturity came from? Like 18, signing clients, going to dinners with high-level people, renting an office in New York. Most 18-year-old kids are like, stressing over like going to college and
like trying to build their class. Yeah. Like, am I going to go
my
out
curriculum?
This weekend?
Yeah.
You got like a business running. What was that?
Yeah.
Like,
So I think, times are different. If we were in the, 1900s or something, maybe I wouldn't have like the same maturity or same inspiration.
Which
but
part
I
of the 1900s?
I'm saying, I think it came from like us living in this era where we have social media and you're able to see other people doing it.
Yep.
That's what brought that maturity, right? Like I was always somebody succeeding as an entrepreneur and in business before seeing other people doing it like on social media. So then when I saw other people doing it like with social media with a different route, I knew that I was going to be able to do that same thing. And so it just came to, wanting it more than the other person, studying more than the other person, staying up late, waking up early, doing all these things. And where that came from, just the drive that I know if I wanted to have a Lamborghini at 22 years old, own real estate, if I wanted any of these things, it was going to come and, needed to start at an early age. So that's where it came from.
Was there one or two guys that stick out that you saw and you're like, not in an asshole way, but like, if he can do it, I can definitely do it?
There's not really anyone that sticks out. It was more just like scrolling and just seeing like different people. There wasn't like a specific, person, but it was just seeing multiple people just doing it. Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. How do you like qualify people on Instagram, like making sure that they're legit and have a good product and stuff before you work with them?
In what sense? Like if I'm bringing somebody as like a team member or like what?
Like a client.
A client?
Like if there's like a Forex trader out there, you signing them, like what's the process like on that?
Well, in regards to like any like Forex stuff, like we know like if anyone has all the posts on the same day, you know that's a red flag. That's a fake account.
It's like, damn, they're busy today.
Yeah, no, you know that's a fake account. So like things like that. But for the most part, clients come to us.
Yeah.
We do outreach and we have like qualification stuff. I would say one of the new ones, which is a really good qualification tool, is only messaging them if they're verified. Because now like almost anyone can be verified because you have like the meta verified. So essentially the reason why it's a good qualification tool is because you know like they're a real person. And another thing you also know is that they're willing to invest into Instagram, right? So if they're willing to pay that monthly, they're definitely willing, you know, to pay for some other Instagram services as well.
Yep.
That's a great point. So when you got started in the agency, right? Like that was 5 years ago.
Yep.
And I think we were talking downstairs. You said you have over 2,000 clients that are paying you every single month actively.
Correct.
Like that's a huge jump, right? Like I've not met a single agency owner that has 2,000 active clients at their agency. So it's massive. And so congrats on that.
Thank you.
But what does that look like going from like having no experience in the agency space? Like what does that 5-year journey look like if you could walk us through that?
Yeah, definitely. So basically the way it started was I originally did these services myself with my personal brand, then the fitness business. And then at that same time, while I was, you know, starting to make a lot of money and build the agency, I also opened up a restaurant with my dad. So I have a restaurant here in Miami. And essentially, I was basically doing all the marketing services that I was offering for the restaurant.
Yep.
So like lead gen, you know, building up the IG, all these different things. And so I kind of had these case studies under my belt that then it just started with, you know, building a team, consistency, and then just doing it every single day for 5 years. You're going to get to the point where you can have 2,000 active clients if you have, you know, an incredible offer, if you provide a great service, if you spend additional money to have, you know, client success managers, how I know you guys have, and not, you know, be frugal. And then all these things, if you just compound and do it consistently over time, you know, you're gonna get to that level. You just have to make sure you know, follow those principles I just mentioned.
Hey guys, if you enjoyed this short clip, check out the full interview here. And if you want to see more clips from this episode, check it out right here.